All right, let's bring out last year's draft class. All the positions, wide receiver, tight end, and running back. Marvin Harrison, Neighbors were the top picks here. Roman Dunze, Brock Bowers, Thomas, Worthy. Pearshaw was seventh of the skills positions taken. Took out quarterbacks here. And Polk and Jonathan Brooks here. So you can see some of the draft picks along here. And here's where they finished last year at their individual positions, right? You can see Brock Bowers was the number 2 tight end. He was the 4th rookie skills position taken. So, hey, you can see up here, wow, 3 of the top 6 here, or 5, 3 of the top 5, let's say, hey, were delivered. Last year, that was incredible for a rookie class, you know. And here's the averages per game. You can say Brian Thomas Jr., Neighbors, and Brock Bowers for tight ends. I mean, he was number 2. So, and Marvin Harrison Worthy showed up, but just not very high. Here's consent where they were ranked going in. You can see Marvin Harrison Jr. ranked 9th here, right? Malik Neighbors, 24th. Look at Brian Thomas Jr. here, ranked 38th, right? Wow. And, of course, Brock Bowers ranked 12th. So, and that was somehow they were ranked coming in. Here's like the surprises. Let me get rid of them bars. This is how much of a surprise you are. The more further down you are, the more. Ladd McConkey, of course, came out of nowhere. Wasn't ranked for nothing. Finished great. And Brian Thomas Jr., too. And Malik Neighbors to a certain extent. And Brock Bowers, of course, too. Even though he was ranked 12th, everyone had him on the radar. That number 2 finish put him up pretty high. So we can kind of see here that here's how they finished then again. And we get some good players out of this. Look at this, an 8, a 2, and a 4, and McConkey thrown in. But heck, he was like the 10th one here. So, but you get 5th, but you got some losses in there too, right? That didn't show. So it looks to be 50-50. That's pretty good too. Better than surprise. I mean, kind of a surprise. All right, I want to break out the running backs by themselves because they weren't drafted that high in the draft last year. Jonathan Brooks, Trey Benson, Blake Corum, Marshawn Lloyd for the Packers, Jalen Wright, Bucky Irvin, Will Shipley, Ray Davis was drafted last year. Garando got some action. Braylon Allen did too, and Estime and Ali here. All right, let's put them down to where they finished last year. The only one who finished of any significance here was Bucky Irving, the only running back last year. All right. So here's their averages. All right. Of all the running backs drafted last year in the Bucky Irvin, and I guess Ray Davis shows. Ray Davis wasn't. So you could see none of the rookie running backs really came through other than Bucky Irving. And here's the surprise ones, of course. Bucky Irving, quite a surprise there. Ray Davis, Garando, Braylon Allen, and Audric Estime. But you can see none of these were highly ranked last year going into your fantasy drafts. And Bucky Irving is the only one really delivered, right? So here they are where they finished last year. Ray Davis, the second one, but besides Bucky Irving here at 14, didn't get much out of the running backs last year. All right, let's bring out this year's draft class. Running back Ashton Jeanty, Omarion Hampton, Judkins, of course, Trevion Henderson, R.J. Harvey, Caleb Johnson, Pittsburgh, Bashan Tootin, Cam Scatbo, Trevor Etienne, yes, that's his brother, Woody Marks, Hunter, and how about Dylan Sampson? A late surprise here, possibly. So which one's it going to be? We're going to pick one that's going to be Bucky Irvin, right? Going to make it in the 14th. Kind of a surprise like he did. Which one's it going to be? Everyone's going to bet it's going to be Ashton Jeanty, I'm sure. Let's check out how they are ranked. Here's how they are ranked coming out. They got Ashton Jeanty ranked 7th and 30th, or 20th here for Hampton. Trevion Henderson 23rd, Caleb Johnson 25th. They got a lot here in the 20s. Do you remember that Bucky Irving finished 14th? We had one finish 14th. That would be they have Jeanty here 7th. And then the next one was Ray Davis at 35. So a lot of these running backs up here, where we had one come out of here last year, they got 6 up here. All in the top 30 here. I guess Judkins is outside now. So which one's it going to be? So we should probably go back a couple years since last year none fired. Well, of course, you had Bijan Robinson, right? Well, in 2023, his rookie year, they had him ranked up to consensus rank number 2. Kind of like Jeanty, but not as much. I mean, they had him ranked 2nd. So, and he finished 9th, you can see here. And kind of built into that average here, had 11.43 per game. So, hey, actually disappointed, right? And then Gibbs, you see here, Gibbs here. Well, he was ranked 18th going in and finished 12th. This is back in 2023. You can see he built up to that, had 12 points a game. That's still pretty good. He finished 6 points better than he was drafted. Yeah, the first one was a disappointment. Second one was a surprise there. And you go here to A-Chain. He wasn't ranked, but 45th, right? Raheem Mostert was the number 2 running back that year. But A-Chain finished 22nd. You see, his average was actually a little higher than when he got all these carries in 2024, right? Finishing 9th in fantasy. So he was kind of a surprise, but you see, he wasn't highly drafted here. And the last one we got here, just really the ones that stood out, was 2023 was Chase Brown. Well, you see, he did nothing that year. And then now last year he came on with the injuries and everything to finish 13th in fantasy. So some got off to a slow start. All right, so I've loaded them up in how I feel they are right now. We've got a lot of preseason to go, but see how things end up. But right now we're looking at Jeanty, obviously the first pick. Hey, most time there he's going to have, probably get the most opportunity for him, Raheem Mostert presents no real problem. Hey, they were the 32 team in rushing, but now they got the whole new team in there. Geno's the quarterback. Hey, let's face it, if we were going into it with Aiden O'Connell being the quarterback, we wouldn't be as up on him. But with Geno there, they brought in the new coach, right? Hey, Pete Carroll. So going to run the ball with him. So he's got the best opportunity. And of course, he's ranked the highest. So obviously, they're right there. And next up is, of course, Marion Hampton with the Najee news, or, lack of it, I guess. We're still waiting on the non-football list injury. So opportunity knocks for him, right? So, behind him, and they got Haskins and Vidal. So if Najee does, and they go to miss some big amount of time, it's going to be the pivot point. When does he get back? Does he come back in preseason? Does he get to play in preseason? That all is going to affect Harry. Because remember, last year when J.K. Dobbins was running hot, right? They even kept sticking Gus Edwards in there. So it has a lot to do with that. But, hey, right now, those top 2 have the best shot at playing time, right? Well, next up, we've got Caleb Johnson, right? Whew. His college team looks just like the team he went to in the pros. Just kind of crazy. But, hey, is he going to get most opportunities here too, right? So we got, obviously, Jalen Warren here. And is in the way he played last year. You can see he kind of operated as the number 2 last year. Is Caleb Johnson slot right into Najee's spot and be like the 1 and 2? Little news there. I think he was saying, hey, I feel I can contribute, and my pass catching ability and protection. So he says he can operate as a 3-down back, right? Jalen Ward said of him, the best thing about Caleb Johnson is his attitude. In there, willing to go. Now, a little disturbing here. Kenneth Gainwell, who's number 3 on the team, big news little item this morning. Hey, his Tomlin was wanting to see how Gainwell is doing in passing down reps. Does he get that? Is that hinting that he might get some action in the passing down reps? But we probably had penciled in for Jalen Warren if Caleb Johnson's going to be the one in the first and second down. But we'll see how that goes. Hey, preseason, we got to see. But Aaron Rodgers is looking for a number 1 running back, and Caleb Johnson's going to get his opportunities, obviously. They've got him ranked 25th. So, well, the next one to shoot a drop here is this Dylan Sampson. Right? Well, they got him ranked 56, but that's not going to be for long. Right? He'll start slowly moving down there. Hey, SEC Offensive Player of the Year honors, right? Explosiveness is there. He might be one of those stories. Obviously, was going to be a change of pace. 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns last year for Tennessee. And, I mean, hey, he's explosive, has the credibility. You know, he could be it. Talk about opportunity. With this Judkins, maybe won't even play this year. Then if we're stuck with Jerome Ford, between him and we had Jerome Ford last year. And eventually he gave way to the others. So, and Pierre Strong, I'm not really too worried about. Although, so Dylan Sampson here has been getting some first team reps already in practice. So that's part of it. But hey, opportunity knocks for him in a big way. We'll see. As that's what's great. We're going to have to see as preseason moves on and where these are going to end up. But hey, right now, we're leaning into him being a sleeper. All right, and then we have Scatbo and Trevion Henderson. Well, Giants wide open, I guess. Tyrone Tracy. Hey, right now he's ranked 36, and they got him ranked 33rd. Got to see what happens in preseason, but hey, you just know that he's going to get the Scatbo. They're going to try him out, and when it goes south, Russell Wilson's probably not going to lead him to the promised land. And they'll be building for next year, and that means a lot of Scatbo, especially late in the year, right? See how he does. So you just kind of know that he's going to. And then Henderson over here, boy, a lot of other people are a lot higher on him than I am. They've got him ranked 23rd. Well, of course, I'm not down on the talent. Obviously, he's got talent, but with Ramondre Stevenson there, right? And he's going to want his share. You know, we look at. He did pretty good last year. You know, 9-10 points a game on a bad team, right? You got to look, 31st team offense last year. So there wasn't a lot of touchdowns to help out. And I just don't see the big jump for this Henderson where they're pushing him in there. And let's not forget we got Antonio Gibson that's going to get probably some action unless they get moved. Unless he can move him like to a team that has an injury. But I see it awful crowded there. I'm not as high on there. And that's really goes for R.J. Harvey, too. You know, I'm not as high on him because of the sharing in Denver, right? Just J.K. Dobbins. Hey, if he comes back anywhere like he was last year, look at that, 12 points a game. You cannot ignore him. And this Audric Estime, I know hey, Peyton said he's going to get his opportunities in 2025. Well, they all are because he likes sharing there. So R.J. Harvey, I like the idea, but, you know, Harvey to play a significant role in the passing game. Well, yeah, that's part of the problem here is, you know, you just don't know in Denver with all the sharing going on how much he's going to get. Now, the next ones are opportunity. Woody Marks here. So the big news is Joe Mixon. How long is that going to be? Of course, with Nick Chubb brought in, that really cuts into it. But hey, Nick Chubb's not known as a receiving back by any stretch. So if it starts out early in the season with Nick Chubb and Woody Marks, all right, catching the ball is exceptional, running between the tackles, he could get some early down action, and hey, he might end up hitting. So we'll keep an eye out on this Woody Marks too. And of course, Jaden Blue here, getting some reports were, he's not doing so good. Right? Kind of had Jaden Blue here. kind of had it where he was borderline lazy. But then later we had another beat reporter, Dallas reporter, said, "Hey, it's hard to ask for a much better week than Blue put on." Noted, and ESPN Todd Archer noted the burst that he had in these training camps. So mixed signals there from him, but opportunity knocks because, hey, Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders haven't really done it in the past. Although right now I'm kind of high on Javonte Williams. Give him a shot, maybe. And we'll see how it goes in preseason, how that all goes. But getting kind of deep here. You want to keep an eye out for these two, right? Jordan James and Jaquez Hunter. James, of course, hey, to get in there. Well, it's just how great McCaffrey is, right? And Garando isn't a proven number 2 to me. You know, potential upside with the big size and the speed, but this Jordan James, we see how it goes, and we got to just check on the health of course, McCaffrey. And the same here with last year, disappointing Blake Corum. Does Jaquez Hunter jump ahead of him? We'll see how that takes place, you know. And then, of course, it's just how much Kyrene Williams gets. Does he get hurt? What's going on there? But Hunter could be the backup, and same with James there. Tootin's up and down, right? And Giddens here. Tootin's been falling down a little bit here. We go to the rank history. Just a few spots, and that's more. They've been hyping up ETN a little bit. They have a nice, easy 10 schedule, but we'll see how that. Oh, and then I just heard them recently. Whoops. Going back and hyping back Tank Bigsby. So we're going to need some preseason. Cohen, of course, used 2 running backs last year, the new head coach. 2 running backs last year at Tampa. So we'll have to see how that plays out. A couple of 2 other names I've got loaded here are this Giddens. He'll be the backup if he can get to it for Jonathan Taylor. And they didn't really have anything going at backup last year for them. So he also does some pass receiving, so that could be good. But all right, and ETN, yes, he is Travis's brother. I see him more of a special team starting out. Of course, they got brought in Dowdell on a 1-year contract. Eventually, he could take over that 2 spot, but Hubbard there. So, all right, well, that's some of the rookies. We got a lot of work to do before they start because preseason, we're going to go through them, but this is how they're kind of looking right now. Familiarize yourself with those rookies because someone might take off. All right, it's that time. I need to fill my shorts. Get a short, make a short out of this. Warning, this is a rapid repeat. All right, Fantasy AI. Hey, a lot of people are going to be talking about rookie Omarion Hampton and Ashton Jeanty, 2 prized rookie fantasy running backs people are going to be having their eyes on. But Ja'Cory Koski Merritt might be a big surprise at running back for rookies this year, right? In Washington, they have Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols, and, of course, Austin Eckler, who's ranked 42nd by consensus rankings, and Brian Robinson Jr., too, who's ranked 29th. Those are his teammates he'd have to get through, but Ja'Cory Koski Merritt has been the talk of training camp so far, right? He was the 245th pick, 7th rounder. Played his college ball at Alabama State, New Mexico, Arizona, violently running. Looks like an all-around back. He's the talk of the training camp so far.